Okay, guess what? A lot of people don't mention this, but Sonic 06 actually had DLC. I know it's hard to believe, but the developers actually bothered to make DLC for this game. One of the DLC packs you can get is the very hard packs for Sonic, Silver, and Shadow. So,
and I'm just gonna
even try that.
believe it or not,
to quote Clement, the development time spent on these very hard modes could have been better spent making the actual game better. Just
Yeah.
Also, I'm just going to say this right now. These levels should have been the actual levels we got in the game, because I'd argue they're more fun in that they actually have more interactivity. You'll see what I mean.
Here's an example. This is Wave Ocean Hard Mode.
You may notice how it's actually not being as slippery as normally Sonic is in the game.
That's because
the DLC is better patched than the game.
Yeah, actually, that's because what happens is the DLC when they were making the DLC, they actually took the time to tune up the controls a bit. You'd think they would release a patch with these fixes for the main game as well, but that would require logic on their part.
Look at this. It's like we're playing the old beta stuff, which works better. Like Sonic's homing attack works better here. The level design is arguably better and actually more challenging as opposed to just relying on glitches to be tough. Heck, even the enemy physics work better here. I mean, this is what I'm going to say. These should have been the game. I mean, granted, yeah, I know the case, but still, though, this DLC is more fun than the game. Well, not counting the gems, but I digress.
Yeah, the gems aren't in the DLC, are they?
No.
Well, I guess it's called Very Hard Mode, so...
Basically, there's Very Hard, and then there's also the Amigo DLC.
The frame rate still chugs whenever there's a lot of... fuck you, game! Fuck
Again,
you.
Pedro, I told you, swearing at the game won't do anything.
It makes me feel better, though. Excuse me. Sheesh.
But it'll just make you look insane, swearing at your
What?
TV.
Dwibs! Dwibs, I think... Dwibs, I think... Dwibs... Hold on, Joe, I can defend myself. Dwibs, I think the boat kind of sailed on that one, so might as well go all the way.
Yeah, Dweebs, do you know what time and age we're living in right now, where we have several internet personalities who make their living off of swearing at games?
Yeah, and look how well that's going right now.
Angry Joe's pretty successful. Angry Video Game Nerd has his own movie.
Yeah, but they're like one of the only 2 or 3 that do that now. Nowadays, people are going for more.
I fail to realize why that means I can't do it. If I want to do it, I'll do it. So there. Anyway.
I'm not even saying it in a serious manner.
Whatever. The point is, now we're playing as Tails.
So Tails exhausts himself way faster in hard mode, very hard mode.
Actually, no.
Well, hey, at least the spike tube thing isn't following you.
Actually, no, Tio. Tails functions relatively fine. In fact, if anything, he doesn't get tired as quickly as he did in the actual game. Like,
really? He doesn't?
Pedro actually managed to go a full bat without Tails tiring, where normally at that point he would have tuckered out.
Well, honestly, it doesn't the controls don't even really look all that different, to be honest.
Well, yeah, you have to play that to realize that. I mean, you can't exactly tell controls from footage.
Holy shit, that is rampant.
On the RAM, what about the camera?
Screw you, game. Screw you. Basically, in order to get for that, you have to intentionally slow down from the loop, even though that's so counterintuitive to any person who has played a free Sonic game. So you cannot be. Go ahead.
I'm imagining Tails just bumping into Sonic and then both falling over like dummies.
So yeah,
similar to what he can do at the end boss of Sonic.
There's a lot of. Okay, that was my. Okay. There's still. That was my bad, to be fair. But the point is, there's still a lot of bullshit in these levels still, though. Like the whale destroying platforms on a whim.
Also, Joe, there you go.
Oh no, wait, hang on. You can use the gems.
Oh, that's right. I'm using the gem right now. Never mind then. Alright then.
That's also that pop in.
Oh god, the frame rate. Oh god, the frame rate.
Oh god. Did we all of a sudden take a trip to Adabat?
I'm more concerned about the popping.
It's worse here than it is in
I'm more concerned about the popping, to be honest.
That's
okay.
The platform didn't even load.
Wow, the dash pads were hovering in space there for a bit. Is this really truly Chaos Control?
Yes. Yes. And that's it.
Tommy gets carted off.
Now we get to to the max speed zone, I think, if I remember correctly.
That's right. We skipped Tails' terrible section in this one. Already.
Well, technically there was a Tails section. It was just as terrible, if
It
you
was
ask
just
me.
reworked.
No. Well, I mean, Tails' section in this one is actually different from when
Alright,
he's doing.
so here's
it
the
with
hard
Tails.
mode max speed zone. Or max speed section, sorry.
Hey,
Brilliant.
I don't recall I don't recall Sonic saying Yahoo in the actual level.
Basically, just hope and pray that the game's ramp will... And this is where I rage quit. Bye.
I don't blame you.
But Pedro, you quit.
Yes, I'm trying to emulate what it's like for someone to try out the hard mode. They'll rage quit within 2 minutes.
Oh,
Not
please,
me.
can you
Yeah, I
keep
could
them
do it.
valid?
Pedro, you're not even being accurate. They quit after 30 seconds.
Well, I decided I would abridge things.
Aw.
A bridge? A bridge? It's long.
Please
You
tell
made
me
it
do
longer.
Kingdom Valley very hard more with Shadow.
That's not
Uh-oh.
a bridge. You just made it longer.
Okay, let's try Crisis City of Shadow.
Alright.
Get to the goal ring.
See if this one's any better.
£10 says no.
As long as it actually does.
Okay, I haven't actually bothered to try all these because, it's way too much tiresome. But Jova, which are the very hard modes that have new levels? And because the level design in Shadows Crisis City very hard mode seems like it's basically Sonic's again.
I'm pretty sure that he has.
Shadow?
If I recall correctly, Shadow does have places like yeah, he does have stuff with Sonic stuff, but with different set pieces. Like, for Sonic's Monk Speed section, instead he uses the motorbike and whatnot.
Won't be the hang glider?
The hang glider is where Sonic's, Sonic does that one by foot.
Pedro, your point earlier about patches.
Yeah, I was trying to say, why couldn't the improvements with the DLC, be patched into the main game itself? That's what I'm asking.
Well, my main thing is, I've never heard of a patch in any game ever that improves control.
There's plenty.
There are several
There's
Dweebs.
plenty of them. How many games with patches have you
Particularly
played?
Dweebs, but especially Dweebs when it comes to games where movement is everything, like fighting games or racing games.
Yeah, just recently, Arc System Works came up with a new patch for fighters with some balancing stuff.
Okay, now.
Moving.
Okay, so now that I think
Power
about it.
delivery is just something.
Yeah. Okay, now that I think about it, actually, I don't think that Shadows' hang glider section is actually in Sonic's playthrough.
Okay, I'm not even sure that's rage quitting. You just quit.
I got bored.
Yeah.
Well, to be
What's
honest,
the point
yeah.
of showing that then?
Well, just a simple case.
I'm
Like,
giving you guys.
Hollywood-
I'm giving you guys a taste because I don't want it to do the whole game in very hard. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's barely even a breadcrumb.
Well,
I'm gonna have to side with
you'll,
Dibs on that one.
you guys will eat those breadcrumbs and you'll like them. Goddammit.
Oh shoot, me.
But if I've got breadcrumbs, I might as well just put them on fish and make a chippy style fish and chips meal.
Dweebs, don't play with your food.
Also, food analogy.
But that's what we always do.
Fair point.
You breeds.
He's got a point. I mean, hey, even Jeremy Irons plays
Speak
with
for
his food.
yourself.
Sure, Jeremy Irons clearly did show that you Brits like to play with your food.
No, I meant to.
Can you imagine how the ball puzzle is in very hard mode?
Oh god.
What basically, Joe, what I
I'm
mean,
guessing we're not gonna get to see that, are we?
basically,
No.
Joe, what I mean is, at chip shop sometimes they use breadcrumbs as the batter for the fish.
Mm-hmm.
It's for the sake of, saving up, I guess.
Anyway, I guess I can see what Dwibs means, so it's like, well, if it were me, I'd just go all or nothing with this, because there actually are differences with them, but, you do you.
Honestly, I don't think it's that worthy. Sure, Pedro could have just showcased just a bit more of Shadow, but honestly, if I have to be honest, aside of some minimal layouts, I don't see that much of difference in these levels.
Well, that's because Pedro kind of
Wait.
quit it before we got to them, too.
The
But
balls
honestly,
killed
though,
him.
okay,
No
that
more-
was just pointless.
No more balls. Sorry.
But Pedro, you're making yourself look like to be a bit of a wimp. You see just a bunch of balls falling down. You're like, nope, I give up.
Do I gain any points if I act like I care?
Yes.
Fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I
You
mean,
get half a cookie.
granted, if it were
Nah.
me and I had to cut out stuff, I'd at least.
But guess what, guys? I
actually.
actually managed to get a complete save file from the internet with all 180 gold medals, and the gold medals do absolutely jack shit. Just to confirm that.
At least he did
Oh,
it.
well, it gives you an achievement in this version.
Yeah, he's got a
True.
point. Yeah, in the Microsoft version, it does give you an achievement.
I could barely
'Cause-
see the menu.
Because that's so
Pedro, you're
wonderful.
going too fast. I couldn't make
Too
out what was in
fast
the
for
end.
you.
You're too slow, Dwibs. Anyway, here's the only. Okay, so there's also the boss attack. Yeah, that's right. Boss attacks, which were something that already came with Sonic Adventure 2 by default, have to be purchased as DLC for this game. That's horrible, Sega. Come on. You should have put
Wait, I
that in the
forget.
game. You should have put
Hold
that
on,
in the
wait,
game
wait.
itself.
Hold on. What the boss attacks part of the patch though, and everything else was.
No. There's no actual patches, Joe, but the DLC patches stuff. What I mean is that in order to get
Pedro. Sonic 06 did get patched actually on the 360.
I didn't get a single patch when I looked
But
for
the
one on my
DLC is
360
available
version.
for both systems, isn't it?
My 360 my
patches were
360
available.
version doesn't find any patch, so I can tell you that.
Yeah,
that
look it up. Yeah, look it up though. The 360 version did get patches.
Whatever. The point is, there's no boss rush mode in the actual game. You have to buy it from the store. It's right there to buy on the store for both 360 and PS3. And that's.
What do you need to do instead in this
So you-
Team Attack Amigo?
Hold on, Till. I haven't finished my rant. So you put in a boss rush mode in Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Adventure 1 already on the game, but this one you made it DLC. Great job, Sega. But anyway, back to Team Attack Amigo. Team Attack Amigo is the only piece of DLC you should ever really care, and even then it's not that much. Basically, Team Attack Amigo is where you go through all the levels in the game with the Amigo characters, aka the non-Hedgehog characters. So basically, it's a rush through all the levels in the game with new layouts, and you're playing as Tails, Blaze, Omega, the works.
But Amy is a hedgehog.
Well, actually, is Amy in this one? I think she is, if I remember correctly.
Okay,
Oh, the free protagonist,
non-main hedgehog character.
Fine.
Yes. You just pissed all the Amy fans, Libs. How dare you? They're
I
already
care
that
about Amy anyway.
they're already that salty about Sonic Mania
Because-
Plus. Wow.
To me, so far, Amy's either been just a blank slate who likes tarot cards, or an insane stalking maniac.
Oh jeez.
Can I talk about how this section with Tails is boring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Tails can grind!
Well, actually, well,
Of course,
he
yeah,
was
we
always able to grind. It's just that his sections in the main game don't actually have. Well,
Yeah.
actually, they do. Actually, that's only one point I think.
Laser.
They do, yeah.
Okay then. All right. So even though Tails should be perfectly capable of going through those fucking things.
We're using the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog logic.
There you go, Tails. So Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog gets represented in the 15th anniversry. I hope you're
I
happy.
never asked for this.
Okay. Go ring.
Wait. Okay, I don't remember the last Sonic game that had the gold ring on a grind rail.
This is the first one, I think.
Wow, this game was actually innovative in some way.
I failed to see how this is something worth caring about.
But it's
Just
something
move
at
the
least.
gold ring.
I mean, this game's very low on pros as it is, Pedro. I'm going to take what I can get.
Oh, so now you're taking the tail approach. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
god, radical train with tails.
Well,
I can't even imagine.
I'd do an Italian accent, but Tio would kill me.
You're already doing it
Hasn't
enough
stopped
already,
before.
Liv, so. Yeah.
All right.
Also, how
okay.
you ban radical train with tails? I can't imagine.
It's
he
basically Sonic's Radical Train again, just with tails, basically. Like,
Well, yeah,
there's
no,
not
but
that
I
much of
mean,
a difference, really.
Like, is it actually feasible as a stage?
It is.
or...
It is. Like again, Tails can
Do you
basically
start
fly. Tails can basically fly over everything, so it's actually kind
No,
of an
it's not-
easier mode version of the stage.
Yeah, but if
Remember,
I call you
stop-
have those rules where you need to defeat the enemies because you need to before hitting the lever.
No,
think-
in this one gets replaced with flying rings for Tails.
Are you still in the race against the train?
Yes, I'm supposed to press the switch before the train comes into the bombs. Yes.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, fuck you, I can fly over you.
Fuck your train.
Oh, fuck your enemy.
I paid $3 for this.
€3. That's like That's like £1.99.
You haven't said much, Joe. But what do you think of Team Attack Amigo?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's fine. I mean, again, like with very hard mode stuff, it's something that's different and whatnot. It's just, I do not really care for it. I mean, if I had to pick between which DLC I'd go with, I'd rather they have just merged the Amigo and the very hard modes into basically, well, okay, some very hard modes actually have players who have characters who weren't previously playable in certain stages actually playable in them, so that basically all 3 characters are used in some of the very hard modes. If I were in charge of DLC, I would have decided that every version of very hard mode is like that, basically, essentially extending the levels longer so that each character actually has a role to play in it. I mean, regardless of how they control and whatnot, it would have actually been something more new added on to it.
I describe this. New gimmick introduced in Team Attack Amigo. Tails, special flying rings that actually have lasers alternating between them, so that's actually not in the main campaign, so that's like one thing that this DLC introduced.
Yeah, there's kind of a problem with the dummy ring bombs. You can't tell which ones you can pick up and which ones you can't.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on it. I hate that shit so much.
See, in Sonic Heroes, the dummy rings actually were made with a different texture, mind you. They were clearly dummy rings. Here, though, they're the exact same model used for the rings you normally pick
So
up.
wait a minute, Joe, but basically, a GameCube, PS2 and Xbox game does a better job of differentiating something than a 360 PS3 game.
Dwebs,
Considering
like we've
that
established
this is
in our
the
playthrough.
advanced next generation game that forgot to bring the autosave function, I'm not surprised at this
Dwebs,
point.
Dwebs.
Obvious question, though. Why even dummy rings to begin with? Why
Again,
can't it be
it's
just
a reference to the
regular
GameCube,
bomb?
to the Game Gear games too.
Oh, that's
yes,
right,
yes.
the Tails Adventure, okay.
But
Yes,
no one
Pedro?
asked for it.
You were Dwebs, like we've already established. Even though it's a 2012 game, Lothar Lautrec does worse stealth than Metal Gear 2. So
Yeah.
it's not exact. So bad design can really go a long way, Dwebs, regardless of how
mean,
separate in years the two
Remember,
games are.
we're in a day and age when EA are making a name for themselves as the worst company. Yeah, they're showing that they really did earn that award because they're making games. Specifically, the Battlefront games pale in comparison to Star Wars Battlefront 2, a 6th generation game made in 2005.
Hell, Dwebs, I would even argue. I'll still take Metal Gear 1 over it because Metal Gear 1 has tunnel vision for the soldiers, but at the very least, Metal Gear 1 has the excuse it was 1987. Lautrec is a 2012 game made by a former Metal Gear producer. Allow me to remind you, he produced Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops, so he should know better than that. But go ahead.
Also, Drew, I don't know if you know, if you knew these news, but in the meantime, stealthily, I forgot who precisely, but I thought it was a developer officially, actually reopened officially the old Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront 2 servers. So people decided to go online there instead of at the actual EA official Battlefront 2.
Ah, sweet justice.
I hate fighting enemies with tails. I hate it.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
I seriously
Again, why did
it
they
was a
get
good
rid-
idea not, jumping into enemies.
Okay,
Or heck,
Nakamura-san.
whose dumb idea was it to get rid of Tails' iconic tail attack?
Agreed. No, look, Nakamura, there's a reason why the dummy ring bombs never came back, at least in this particular form that you're using them. They're better determined in 2D games, not 3D games, you fucking
Well, Tails
dimwit.
Adventure was a 2D game, so yeah.
And
That's why I'm
and
saying
again-
they work much better in 2D games, and even like Silva said, there's the
Oh,
Heroes
right.
ones, but the Heroes ones weren't. But the Heroes ones weren't really required for use because you could just use the other characters anyway.
Yeah.
And basically, it should only be used in Heroes if the other 2 characters were somehow not around.
Not only that, but like I said, dummy rings there were clearly different because they had a different texture. They're actually made to look flat compared to actual rings that you could pick up. So it was a lot easier to tell which was fake.
Just make them look different. I mean, make them look like the onion ring in Sonic 2 XL. I mean,
That's a much better game than this.
It is. I love that hack so much.
Is that the one where every time you eat the rings you get fat?
Yes, that hack is pure
And if
fucking
you-
genius.
And if you eat too much, you die of a heart attack.
Yeah.
Words cannot express. Like it's literally. It's. I love it about just as much as Pickle Unleashed. That is that's some of the greatest fan work ever made of all time.
What about Sonic 1 Overchow Edition?
Oh yeah, that one's hilarious
Also,
too.
pillars. Okay.
If by hilarious you mean incredibly grating and obnoxious, I guess.
It's hilarious.
Wow,
It's hilarious.
that's the point
It's
of Overchow.
hilarious. It's hilarious for anyone watching some poor sap play it.
Well,
I
Pedro,
guess,
would have been helped for you if every time the Chow spoke, there was a pre-recorded line of Laura Beatty.
Well, yes, but that's the thing, Till. I mean, it's not.
Probably won't help all that much.
That means, Till, that the game only has one person as its demographic. So, how is that profitable?
I don't know, Pedro. Laura Bailey seems to have quite the fan base.
Sure.
A fan base that apparently Sony tried to exploit to help make their Swan Princess movies more popular.
Yeah, and Microsoft with Gears of War 4.
I forget. Wasn't she? I forget if she was
Too fast
already
for you.
involved in Gears of War, though.
Oh, she was?
No, her character was new for Gears of War 4, I think.
Okay. Then.
Unless it was a character was introduced in the comics, but I don't remember specifically.
Also, I'm trying to remember though if she's done voice work for Gears
Anyway,
of War.
getting back to this though, yeah, Blaze's Tropical
Jungle.
Jungle is a mesh of Sonic's level design and some brand new elements like those pillars that rested on the ground earlier. But for the most part, it's basically Sonic's Tropical Jungle again.
Also, grinding on trees like Tarzan.
Except more fun because you don't have to deal with the stupid carrying Elise mechanics.
True, yeah.
Yep. Yes.
Yes!
Well, at least she's not saying, great, great, great!
Like Silver, yeah.
Or like Sonic, yes, yes,
I mean,
Oh,
Poor
and
Blaze must be sick bouncing back and forth between those there.
Yeah, you get used to it when you're a Sonic
No, not Aquatic Base.
but with
Also, Blaze
who?
is constantly spinning around anyway.
This
so-
level is always boring, no matter who you're playing as.
Don't tell me it's Knuckles, please.
No, it's Blaze
Oh,
again.
still Blaze, okay.
No,
Still
Blaze.
It's
Okay,
once again, this is basically Sonic's Aquatic Base again, just with some minor little changes. But go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, like a
Thankfully,
loop. There you go.
thankfully, this is during
Actually,
the
that
more...
was already in the Sonic one too. So, sorry, Java, go ahead.
I forgot about it.
Thankfully, this is during one of the more speed-based areas, you know, from Sonic's aquatic base, so it's the least boring bit.
One thing that I can say is that Blaze's double jump, unlike Amy's, actually fucking works. So it makes platforming a lot easier than with Sonic.
Yeah.
Seriously, you got double jumping with Blaze right. What happened with Amy?
They made it intentionally bad.
Okay,
Yeah.
the way with
That's
Amy's
my
jump...
idea. One of the people at Sonic Team hate Amy.
Okay, here's the thing. Amy's double jump is kind of iconic. Basically, her double jump has been around since Sonic Advance 2.
Again,
I know. Now I know what you're thinking. Wait, Amy was in Sonic Advance 2? A long story short,
She's a super
Incredibly-
secret character, yeah.
incredibly rewarding super secret that you get after 100% completion. And I will admit, it's worth it considering how awesome she is in Advance 2. But basically,
No,
the
it's not worth it to have to get to those special stages
Oh.
all those times. It's not.
True,
sorry.
you're right. I forgot about that, but...
Don't worry,
on that
Shiroi.
matter-
Sorry, go ahead.
Anyway, though...
Don't worry, Shiroi.
and
When I
that's-
do Sonic Advance 2, Shiroi, I'll be using Game Genie because there's no fucking way I'm going to go through that shit like 7 times because it's atrocious. But go ahead, too.
Oh, I thought I was going to do Advance 2 since I have 100% complete save.
well,
now.
well, if you want to do that, then by all means. But I still
I
want
have
to
a
do it.
completed save file, but I sure as hell didn't complete it.
I completed it once. Never again. But anyway...
You want to do free as well?
we can discuss this stuff later.
All right.
Anyway, back to the topic though. See, Amy's double jump works in a special way ever since Advance 2. Basically, her double jump was meant to be helpful in the sense that it could get you up but you had to also take into consideration that, it was mainly just to go up. So any momentum left and right would be left up to your direction. Which,
So
made sense, because, it was useful, but, it did have its weaknesses. It even carried over into Sonic Battle and Advanced 3, I recall.
Were those blue fuck enemy pillars a thing in the original aquatic base?
Yes, but there were more limited, if I recall.
Anyway, though, here's the problem with Amy here. See, the adventure games handled her fine enough. In Adventure, her double jump worked relatively fine, and in Adventure 2, she was basically just a recolor of Sonic for the sake of the multiplayer mode. Here, though, they tried to bring back her double jump, only here's the problem. They did not take into consideration the height of her usual jump, not to mention the fact that the way her jump works here is finicky. In past games, it was basically...
Slow, boring platforming. It's putting me to sleep. Good job.
Pedro, wake up.
Yeah.
Prior before, the way Amy's double jump worked was like, well, you pressed A twice, and the trick is like, well, with the second jump, the idea was to do it at the height of her jump. Here, it's finicky in that it does not really register your button prompt, and also it doesn't have the usual feature of you being allowed to power up her double jump. Here it's just a typical short boost up, and the problem is like, well, maybe if the level design were with that in mind, it would be fine, but it's not. It's like ledges are either too wide or too high. Not to mention, remember, her double jump is not meant to actually move across, nor is like get you up. So that also is bugger there too.
This level is so... It's boring. Just the basic...
Also, why the red light?
Because this is the part where the egg carrier is taking off.
Because alert...
Also, it's a security system.
Yeah, alert! Blue Hedgehog in the vicinity.
Don't you mean purple cat?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Foggy! No.
A fun fact...
I can understand why the machine got confused. Blaze moves as fast as Sonic normally would.
It's funny you mentioned Big Tio because there's a cool little detail added in the Sonic Forces racing app game. Basically, if you're playing as Big, Froggy's waiting at the end of the racetrack.
Instead of the goal ring.
I must say Froggy. Oh, the goal's still there, but Froggy's just waiting to buy him for... He's obviously looking for him. Also, there's not really a goal ring in Sonic Forces, the racing game app. It's more like a...
Because it's a Temple Runner clone.
Oh, no. Besides, Sonic was doing Temple Run before Temple Run even did that. No, this one's more of a side-to-side. It's kind of like Sonic Dash, but without the Temple Run directions.
Alright.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, I see. You gotta beat these enemies, then go on that bounce pad to reach them.
Exactly.
Very good, Whips.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of agree with Pedro. This one was a bit too slow.
It's not even just that, too. Aquatic base is always boring. No matter, by the way, I fucking hate... from this point on, Omega does the rest of this thing.
Cool.
I hate this layout of Dusty Desert because it can be quite confusing sometimes, and there's a shit ton of enemies that blindside you, and there's not that many rings in it, so... And yes, as you guys can see,
there.
Yeah, as you guys can see,
fuck you, I'm Omega.
And that would be nice, Joe, but here's the problem. It gets to a point where the layout starts to become quite open, and I don't know exactly where to go, so I have to land so I can get a proper, grip of where exactly I am in relation to everything.
Oh, really? I mean, well, for me, it's just continue to mass sex and just look around.
Dr. Eggman, sir, we cannot locate E123 Omega.
Oh, God. Well,
look at that. Like, it's just... Ugh.
I mean, granted, what I do is just like, hover in the air and then use the analog stick to look around.
It also doesn't help that my thumb gets sore by mashing A so much.
That's because you're button mashing with the wrong finger, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's the more intuitive thing to do, but all in fairness, you just like, I think it's a technique that everyone is using at this point. You put your controllers on one of your knees or legs or wherever you are, and start actually pressing with one of your the index or the medium.
That's a good suggestion too. However, I have a better one.
Does the Xbox have a turbo controller?
No.
No.
What good's a turbo controller gonna do?
Remember, Pedro told you for the
Mashing A, with the mashing A thing.
It counted as mashing A.
What? I've never seen or heard of one of those.
No,
Although,
there isn't.
honestly-
They stopped
although
making those a long
honestly,
time
even
ago. I think they
although
got
honestly,
back in the
even-
PS2 era, I think. Go ahead, Joe.
Although honestly, even when you do have to touch down to the ground again, Omega just shoot the enemies, like, and they'll go down like flies. It's just the old one.
You'll see later on. But anyway, okay, Tail, I understand your suggestion, and it's a good one. However, I have a better one. What if the developers made a better game?
Well, for this case, I can understand what I thought.
Unfortunately, Pedro, we have to work with what we're given, not what we want.
Omega is the hero we need, but not the one we deserve.
I hate battling these enemies because here's the problem. I can't even tell.
Also, the camera.
I couldn't even tell where I was shooting. I was just supposed to just blindly shoot and hope I got them. Ugh.
Yeah, the camera is definitely finicky, and that is a consistent problem with this game.
Ugh. All right, gonna get this ring with me. I was out of rings. I need to get one. Jump, you fucking asshole!
it.
Thank you.
Press the button all the way.
Ugh.
Yes, it's one of those games that
actually
registers how much how strongly you press the jump button.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of this, there's this AVGN, there's this really bad AVGN ripoff called The Game Dude, who did like a quote-unquote review of this. He did a quote-unquote review of this game.
I'm not sure how to tell you, but I'll tell you more in private, but I just say that I'm not sure it's a good thing mentioning him at this point.
Is it because
what
of him
happened?
being stoned and stuff?
No, I wish. I'll tell you more later, but I'll tell you in private. But for now, okay, you told me you review this game.
Never heard of what's his name?
Let's just say
Neither
Jova,
have
you're
I.
better. Let's just say Jova, you're better off.
Oh wait, is it Logan Paul?
No.
No.
That's another stupid idiot.
Thank God.
By the way, did I mention that the Team Attack Amigo is now going on for 19 minutes?
Yeah, it's a constant barrage.
I know that it's supposed to be like a marathon and shit, but I don't
I
know.
think the problem here is like, well, there's no rhyme or reason to why this is a marathon. You're like, now in Boss Attack, it makes sense that it's a marathon because Boss Rush, but here it's Team Amigo Attack. Like, well, what sense is it to have them be like there instead of just be stages that you can select?
There you go. Now I have to kill all these enemies and shit. So
Hey, I wish Omega could do a lot of the stuff he could in Heroes. I mean, sure, he's fun to play here, but that's only by comparison to the
and
other
I have
games.
0 rings. Can you guys imagine? Oh, okay. Got rings.
Shoot.
I'm trying. See, the problem is that I have so little room to maneuver because I'm on these narrow platforms.
Hey, you know what Omega used to have and would really do us great? Melee attacks. Those were nice.
They were, I agree. Not to mention in Heroes we actually had more room to breathe. Jesus.
Yeah.
And those levels were very, straight and narrow as well. So, especially considering how this game supposedly was trying to go back to the Adventure 1 style of level design. Ugh. Why do I have to defeat all the enemies? This is not a beat 'em up. This is not a beat 'em up.
Okay,
Also,
okay.
from the preview that I'm seeing on the video, basically the rest of this part of the DLC is only Omega. So you're telling me that in this Team Attack Amigo, you play only as Tail, Blaze, and Omega.
Yes.
Hey, I thought you played as Rouge at some point.
No.
Four
no.
Knuckles, Rouge, Amy, and whatever else.
Fucking hell. Okay, now we have White Acropolis.
So, you know what's funny? What was the point of that case? You didn't even need to beat all the enemies because you can just pretty much cheat your way from Omega there.
That is the thing,
Unless
Jova.
that-
You're not supposed to, but the developers didn't finish this fucking piece of crap, so that glitch was left in.
You know, that's right. I play that way from Omega so much that I keep forgetting that
Basically,
that's
I
not
ran out of
the
batteries.
means.
See, for some reason, Teo, Microsoft has forgotten that controllers now have rechargeable batteries. The Switch, the Switch Pro controller is rechargeable battery. The Joy-Cons have rechargeable batteries. The DualShock 4 has a rechargeable battery, and yet the Xbox One controllers still use AA batteries.
Hell.
Seriously?
Yes.
Hell.
Wait, you're saying you can't charge an Xbox One controller?
You can, if you
It uses Duracell batteries as opposed to, just simply doing...
Hold on, Joe. Let me just answer her. Basically, Shiroi, you can turn off take out the batteries and just connect it through USB to your console and it will work. However, if you want to play wireless, you have to use AA batteries.
But I rarely play wireless.
Because
so
apparently
I
Microsoft still lives in the
but
mid-2000s.
still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. The PS4 controller can charge itself either by plugging into a certain device or plugging into the PS4 itself. You want to know what the PS4 uses to charge itself? USB cables! You know, the things that Microsoft themselves made. So why can a wireless Xbox One controller not just plug and charge with a simple USB?
Because it doesn't have a rechargeable battery, Jova.
The DualShock 4 is compatible with any USB cable you can connect to a smartphone like an Android.
To be fair, so is the Xbox One's controller. So.
Yeah.
No, I mean, so in that case, so it's relatively easy to connect.
Not just that, the big problem, guys, is that the controller itself has no rechargeable battery. It just does not. So that's why it wouldn't work like that. See, the thing is,
that is why I got my Xbox One controller USB style and wired as opposed to wireless.
Exactly, but it's not even just that, Jova. It also makes it's also harder because, okay, Jova, you know how on the PS4 you have the two USB ports in the front of the console?
Oh yeah.
The USB ports on the Xbox, well, at least the original one. I don't know if the S and the X improved on that, maybe. But the original Xbox One, because I had the original model, has two USB ports on the fucking back of the console.
Oh,
That's counterintuitive to all
that's
heck.
literally backward thinking.
That's 3DO level of stupid.
You know, that's what the Wii U did.
Actually, no. Actually, no. The Wii U has two USB ports on the front. You open up that little tray thingy, and the two USB
Yeah, I
ports
can confirm that for the time I actually use the Wii U, Java. On the back there, the ones for the motion control bar and the adapter, the AC adapter.
The Wii U has 4 USB controllers, 2 on the front and 2 in the back.
So in that case, the Wii U has more USB ports than the Xbox One.
Yeah.
To be fair, it also has more than the PS4. But the thing is, the 2 on the front on the PS4 are all I really need, so it's not like I care. The big problem with the Xbox One, it's not so much that it has only 2 instead of 4. It's the fact that they're both on the back. The 3D. Remember, I don't know if you guys saw the AVGN's review on the 3DO. The 3DO had its controller port on the back.
Yeah. How?
Why?
Because they're stupid.
What's a 3DO?
It's a Panasonic console made in the 90s that fell into obscurity.
Nowhere. Yeah.
Wasn't that the one that accused?
I didn't
Wasn't that
know
the one that tried
Panasonic
to?
put their foot in it too.
Go ahead,
Wasn't that
Lips.
the one? Wasn't that the one that tried to have can be the SNES and the Mega Drive are baby toys?
Yeah, I think that, yes, and it's the one where that had plumbers don't wear ties.
So how?
Fun fact: you can actually play Plumbers Don't Wear Ties on YouTube via YouTube annotations. Someone actually put all the cutscenes, including the menus, and thanks to YouTube annotations, you can literally play that game on YouTube.
So guys,
There's one playthrough for you to do for us, Lips.
So guys,
Playthrough of what? Sorry.
Plumbers Don't Wear Ties.
Plumbers Don't Wear Ties.
Let me think about that now.
So guys,
Yes, Jova.
So guys, considering how Night Trap of all things came back from the dead, how long till Plumbers Don't Wear Ties comes
actually,
back?
It already has
What
Jova
does it?
via YouTube.
No.
An HD version,
I mean,
I guess.
an official HD version.
HD remake.
Because we all need an
Why?
HD remaster.
Who even was the original publisher? Let me check.
Well,
Hey, you know,
well,
if
Teo,
I-
if Night Trap can make a comeback, at this point I think everything's possible.
out. Phantasmagoria free win.
Oh,
That's up to
Activision, and we all know how that turns out.
The Sierra package, so
I mean, we got an awesome King's Quest reimagining, but considering it didn't sell the best, I'm guessing Activision's gonna bury Sierra all over again.
Gee, Activision, what a shock not advertising it well didn't make it sell.
Which is a shame too, because that reimagining got better and better with each episode.
It did, it really
Well, I wasn't a bigger fan of episode 2, if I'm honest.
I can understand that, but I assure you, episode 3 is fucking awesome.
anyway, hold on. So what's next after? Oh,
The Egg Genesis.
The egg
That's
package.
what the Team Attack Amigo has been building up to, guys, a boss
Really?
fight. Which
With
is
this?
weird.
Yeah.
And you fight it with Omega?
Sure, why
Why?
not?
It makes sense in context. Omega can home in stuff.
Anyway,
with
for
shots.
context, the original Night Trap was published by Sega, both on the CD and 32.
Oh, I thought it would be easy to get the rights then.
Virgin Interactive on 3DO, Digital Picture on the MS-DOS and macOS. So the new version was instead published by someone called Screaming Villains. I have no idea who these people are. Sunburst When Ties is a bit more complicated because it's this company called United Pixtures with an X. Well, I don't know.
Because Geo, nested grammar is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like 90s and shit.
Because poor literacy is cute.
You know, I don't know why people act like that was the 90s, and that was happening before the 90s, and it's been happening so much since the 90s that it might as well just be
Well, that's
considered
the
a
thing,
question
Joe.
thing.
Well, more also, like in the 80s, the graffiti fad helped a lot with
I
this
know.
illiteracy.
I guess my point is like, well, it's happened so much beyond the 90s. At what point does it stop being just the 90s thing? Because it might as well be considered a current thing still.
Okay. There you go.
At least we're ending on a music theme that I actually like, I guess.
That's a cause.
Indeed.
But
So-
yeah.
When are you supposed to actually hit the core with Omega? Like you have to wait.
Oh, you can do it at any time you want.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Just
Really?
it's not opportune to do it when he's firing at you.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Omega,
There you go.
guess what? You're fired!
Watch out! He's up to something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well-
you don't even get the prompt.
Well, I'll give it
details.
this. I prefer this boss, this version of the boss over Silver's. So
True. Well, more like because Omega is an actual decent projectile.
Omega, we're
Omega,
over
what are
here.
you? Like,
He's facing
wow,
the
you got it.
So after all that, you got a D.
not that I care. The thing is, it doesn't even matter if you try your hats off to get an S to it. It's because the game doesn't register ranks for this DLC anyway. So it's nothing but a waste of your time.
What a surprise.
You even if you beat it, the game doesn't even acknowledge it. Anyway, that was the Sonic 06 playthrough, everybody. I hope you enjoyed
I
this.
hope you enjoyed it, but I definitely did. More than the first time, I say.
Tune in for what's the next Sonic game we're doing?
We don't know yet.
You don't know yet.
Well, Job, it will be about time if you actually get around for the Unleashed project, if it's ready. I don't know.
Well,
Whatever.
Stay tuned for the
We'll
likes
see.
of...
We'll see. We'll decide about that.
Stay tuned for the likes of Sonic CD, Sonic 1, Sonic Genesis,
Twits.
Shudder, and others.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Sonic 1 Omo challenge.
I'm covering all our bases.
All right. See you, everybody.
See ya.